Hello, my name is Deirdre Coyne and welcome to today's episode. I am joined by the wonderful Heather Nunn, and Heather is joining us all the way from Brisbane in Queensland. Heather is a integrative nutrition health coach with a background as a practicing registered nurse. So Heather, very, very welcome today.
Thank you. Lovely to be here.
And Heather, you grew up on a sheep station 50 miles from the nearest town. And my first question is, what is the sheep station?
Okay. So a sheep station basically is like a cattle ranch, but of sheep.
Okay.
It's quite large. We were like 52,000 acres, which is a good size. And it was just out of Broken Hill, which is West Darling district in Australia. So, yeah, New South Wales.
And you had said a lot of fresh air and exercise and good nutrition was the basis of your...
Absolutely. I grew up on country food.
Yeah.
Which was, very wholesome. And it wasn't till I left home. I went to boarding school, so of course we didn't eat so good there either. We filled up on bread and butter and whatever. So after boarding school, I went nursing.
Okay.
And not to my shame, but like most young teenagers, my diet consisted of Chico rolls and anything that was quick,
Yeah.
and shift work as well. So clearly that had a toll over the years on my body. So
you were working night shifts really over the
shift work. So yeah, all the way through days to nights. We were fortunate enough we did night shifts. It would be for a certain number of weeks at that time as a student, but your morning and your evening shifts were mixed. So you could finish work at 11 o'clock one night and start work again 7 o'clock the next morning.
Yeah.
And we, I was young, so we partied and we had a great time.
Yeah. And then you did registered nursing.
As time went by, late 30s, I guess, but definitely 40, it all seemed to change. And then I found I had autoimmune disease, Hashimoto's thyroid condition. I had other things that happened as well, requiring surgery and that, but as it was, I found myself quite sick. So I had to do something about it. And as a nurse, I didn't really know much about nutrition. And it took me a while to associate what I was putting in my mouth as to what was happening to my body.
Of course.
So, yes, as time went by, I did a health coaching course, became certified. I did it quite a few years ago now, but that was where I learnt the association between food, health, emotionally, physically, and yeah. So I had to work on a lot.
And that education for you, starting first with your own health, and then you now help other people to look after their health. So health coaching is, for those who don't know, Heather, what is it that you do with health coaching?
Well, what I do, I guess we hear the term health coach, health and wellness
Yeah.
thrown around now. Personally, I work with people. If you come to me, if you find me and you come to me, I like to look at someone as a blank page. I don't like to have any preconceptions about somebody. And so when you meet me, you would go through a very short, probably 10-15 minute call, usually a Zoom. I like a Zoom just because I like looking at people.
Mhm.
I'd like to see a
Important.
face.
Yeah.
And very briefly, a few questions about you, what your plans are, why you even called me in the first place. And we decide that, yes, we can do something together, or we decide, no, it's not the right time or whatever. And if we do proceed ahead with working with me as a client, you will first of all be asked to fill out an incredibly involved health history.
Okay.
There's a reason for that, because our health and how we are relates back to our predecessors. So your mother, your father, your grandparents, and so on back. So whatever's happening to you has probably been gifted to you from your loved ones.
Okay.
And so it's important to me to know the history of you and your family.
Okay. So any health issues before, I guess, would be important.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And like personally, thyroid disease will usually be familiar. So familial.
Okay.
So you will more than likely hear of either your mother, your father, Auntie Elsie
Okay.
might have it,
Yeah.
And so that's where it comes from. And once we've gone through that, we plan to go ahead together. So I don't always have a specific program ready for you. It's actually yours. So we create a program together and we work at what you know about your health, how you want to feel healthy.
Yeah.
What's healthy to you may not be healthy to me,
Yeah.
but that's your health. That's what your goal is. So we're looking at you feeling your best wellness, whatever that may be. And so it's looking at, I very rarely say what you can't have or can't do, very rarely. And if I do, that would be a specific reason of maybe some medication you're on or something. And I will only like to talk to you about what you can eat, what you can do.
Yeah.
Because otherwise that becomes, it's defeating you. And so I find people respond a lot better and find it a lot easier.
Yeah.
And all importantly, you're the one that knows your body and your health. I've met you for a very short time and I'm doing catch up, but you've lived with yourself for however many years. So there's very few people that don't know what they should or shouldn't be doing.
Yeah.
But we have to work out how to do that.
Yeah.
So how you can do it and how you can do it when you're faced with challenges. The wedding, working shifts, or, I've got home late from work, whatever.
Yeah. Or school runs or whatever it is our lifestyle challenges are. Yes, yeah.
You have to be able to work with it.
Yeah.
And that's only you can get that answer.
Yeah.
As I can't be there taking that takeaway Kentucky Fried or whatever away from you. It has to come from you to work out what you do to choose the best choice.
Yeah. So that sounds good. And so it's all about fitting health into a lifestyle change that works for the individual person.
And gaining control, having control. But that being said, if somebody, I clearly will have a plan for somebody if they want it to get started, just to get that first week or so to get the taste of discipline, but
yeah, some of
control.
Okay. So at the beginning, maybe a more structured approach.
If somebody says I just don't know what to eat, or and there are people that they just don't know what to eat. Well, that's when I will say, okay, here's a plan, and this is what you can eat, and you can choose what you want out of that.
Okay, sounds good. That's good. And then how long would somebody typically work with you? Would it just be?
It could be. I typically see people work at the very least 3 months, and that can usually be somebody who wants to condense into a short period of time. So that would be, normally I would have a 6-month plan with you that we would work out, and we would meet every fortnight. Okay. And over that 6 months, that should get you to a stage where you've reached whatever goal. We go to wherever you reach where you want to be. But I do have people that would want to do it more condensed, so we would meet every week.
Okay. And what kind of things would people come? So if obviously it's a health change that people are looking to. So what kind of reasons would somebody contact you as a health coach?
Typically, somebody would contact me when they've been told by their GP that they have to lose weight.
Okay.
That they have high cholesterol, or they've been diagnosed with type 2 diabetes and they have to lose weight to control that. So it's usually a health reason.
Okay.
That they've been to the doctor, they've been told they have to do this, but they've not been told how to do it.
Okay.
And that's where I come in, and I come in to support them throughout that period of time too.
Yeah.
So, but then again, there are people that just want to lose weight for the wedding or whatever,
Yeah. But I guess like all of us, including myself, most of us would probably be able to, if we're, having a diet that you lose weight perhaps too quickly. But I guess the real skill and the benefit of having a health coach is that sustainable change, the lifestyle change that helps us to maintain not just a healthy weight, but the energy and all that goes with that change.
it's all about wellness and feeling well and how to get there. And you can't look, we've got to realize weight is just a number.
Yeah.
It's just a number. And if you're well, you're healthy, and you feel good, that's a goal. That's great. So weight loss to me is not always the goal unless that's the client's goal. My goal is to help them through whatever they're going through at the time, making sense of what they have to do so that they're not having to take medication for their diabetes or something, you know. They are feeling better with their thyroid condition, and anybody who suffers with a thyroid condition, put your hand up, because it affects every part of your body. So they would, whoever's listening and has the autoimmune thyroid or hyperthyroid condition, they would know exactly what I'm talking about. And it's also looking at your well-being emotionally too, how to just be and be happy and feel you're not going crazy or losing it because you've got too much noise, too much happening in your life. It's finding a balance.
And that is the gift of your work, that you give that space to somebody.
I hope somebody comes away feeling that they've achieved what they wanted to achieve, you know, that they're feeling that they're in control of what's happening around them, and control in how they're living their day-to-day business.
Yeah.
You know.
And when we were discussing, and you've forwarded me some information about the work that you do, but it is also that person getting back to that feeling of normal and feeling healthy. Not that, you know, the normal is not a word that I use lightly, but it's just getting back to those levels of energy that you've experienced before.
Well, it's their normal.
Yeah.
You know, it's their to have the energy to go to work, do the housework, you know. I can remember when I was being diagnosed with the autoimmune thyroid, you just have no energy. It's exhausting. And I can remember waking up in the morning and I would think, okay, I've got to get out of bed now because I've got to go to work. And I'd stand up and I'd go into the bathroom. Okay, I've got to clean my teeth and get myself, you know, and that's how I had to get myself, you know, until I worked out how and by no means I'm no means perfect. Nutrition wise, because if I get busy, I've just been through quite some months organising my mother's final home that she's in, and she's 100 years old.
Wow.
And I've had very I've got two sisters, so we've shared, and we've actually had a wonderful time together in that way. But we've had to move our mother. She didn't want it. We didn't want it. That wasn't in our plans for life. My mum was going to take her last breath in her little village unit that she was in, the retirement village unit. We had carers would come in a morning of an afternoon, and she knew she had to do certain things to stay there and be independent. Sadly, she had a very bad flu and she wasn't so well. She's great, but she needed support, more support. And so we've had to embrace the aged care community.
Okay.
And all that entails. And so it's been some months of very emotional, exhausting work, packing up her home. And so I have not even thought about my nutrition, I have to say. And I'm only just now starting to think, I've got to get back, because I'm starting to feel quite sluggish.
Okay.
Foggy head, tired, all that. And so my goal now is to get myself back on track.
Yeah.
And it's happening. I mean, I fall down, but yeah, it's happening.
Yeah.
So no, by no means am I perfect, and no means do I have all the answers, but we work through that together.
Yeah, and I guess that's the benefit, is to sort of when we're looking to restart, it can be helpful to do that with somebody, to have that almost facilitative role that you have. You sit down and think, well, actually, I know what I like to eat, but then you can also say, well, have you thought of this, or have we thought of this, that might help with lifestyle and all of those things. So you're building that plan of change together.
Yes. That's exactly right. And you're quite right. You do. Even I need support that I've had to get myself back on track.
Yes.
So yeah, we all need someone, just that little voice, or that just to hear our frustration or our achievement. So yeah.
So if somebody wants to make that change and is feeling that they've either had a diagnosis that they would like support with improving their nutrition or their health in any way, how do people contact you?
Okay, well, I can put in the chat even that you can. I've got my website. We have a Facebook group, Instagram, and there's also a on my website you can book a short call with me.
Okay.
So that's probably the easiest way. If you just go to the website, and then you will see down there, as everyone has on their website, let's talk, book a call, and that just puts you straight through to the calendar to pick a time.
And also you have a nice gift to share with us as well, so
I do, and I can put that in the chat as well. Sorry, I'm just looking to find the chat to put these in there.
That's okay, because I can put a link in the show notes for that, Heather.
Oh, perfect.
Tell us a little bit about what that is.
Okay, so what I've got is it's just a very short ebook on being healthy at every age.
Sounds good.
So it's starting from the 20s up to 80s
Beyond.
plus, whatever.
Absolutely great.
So it's an ebook looking at each age, what the plan should be, what's possibly going to happen in your body,
Yeah.
and how to be healthy. Yeah.
And we can all use a bit of that. So that is really good. And thank you for sharing that with us. I will put that in the show notes, and I'll also put it everywhere we're posting this.
Yeah. Okay.
Thank you very much, Heather, for all of the information, for taking the time to talk to us today. It's been lovely to talk with you. And you and I will speak soon.
Thank you very much for having me. And yes, we'll talk soon.
Okay. Thanks, Heather.